a lot more lonely because I struggle with making friends, and it's harder for me to put myself out there. So being around people who I might feel like don't relate to me, don't have a similar background as me, who might not understand certain things or where I come from, it would be a lot harder, and that itself would give me an emotional toll that could affect my education and my studies here at UCSD.
I know a lot of people, not just myself, within the RAZA LLC happen to be first-gen students, and I know acclimating in college was already a hard enough step for me, but I know for tons of other people on campus.
So the advantage of RAZA is that, it makes the transition a little bit easier as living to a college campus if you never have done that before.
My first year, I didn't think about joining the RAZA LLC. I went in just into my regular college, and I got dormed into a regular apartment. And I know last year I struggled a lot with feeling like I belonged here, feeling like I should be here. And I met someone who was in the RAZA LLC, and I would go over all the time, and I just remember feeling more comfortable there and just having a better time there overall. And so a lot of the time I'd spend it there, and that's what made me want to join in the first place.
So my experience so far has been really fun, I would say. RAZA is always putting on programs.
One specific event would probably be we had a carne asada night. We had a piñata that I suggested, so I really liked that, and it kind of felt like a little kid party.
So the RAZA LLC is important to me because it allowed me an opportunity to get to know people that come from the same cultural background, and it gave me a safe space to be here at UCSD. I had never visited San Diego before coming to visit UCSD, so it has allowed me to come out of my comfort zone and be able to communicate with people within RAZA LLC and then outside of that as well.
So my favorite event that has happened here was when we went to the swap meet, because I've never been to the swap meet without my parents, and it was fun going with all my friends and stuff.
So it was the first year here, and it was within the first, I think, week 0, we threw an unofficial carne asada, and I remember just kind of not being down to go, but also why not? And everyone was going, and so I just remember sitting there listening to the music and the guys trying to start the fire on the grill, and they couldn't because there was just no way that was gonna happen. And then it was just fun. Everyone was dancing, having a good time, and I felt like home. I just knew immediately this is my second home.
My experience has been good for the most part. I don't think there's anything bad about it, actually. It's been really good. I've met new people who I really like to be around, and we've also had events and such where we've learned about the history of Latinx folks here in San Diego, which is something I wouldn't have known about, not being from here. So it gives us a chance to explore not just the history of the U.S., but the history of Latinx folks in the U.S.
Okay. I think my experience at UCSD without the RAZA community would be me just being isolated from everyone, because I wouldn't exactly have a community to, fall back on, a community to look to, people who understand where I'm coming from.
I feel like I've made really good connections and friendships with people that, they're kind of my best friends now.
The thing I've enjoyed the most is the friendships I made, especially my first year. I met what I consider now my best friend, and to think that I wouldn't have met him if it wasn't for the program is a big thought that I had.
I couldn't imagine my experience without the RLLC. The friends and the community I've gained within the last 2 years here at UCSD have been something I could never imagine having somewhere else on campus.
A specific moment that I enjoyed from the RAZA LLC was just coming in for the first time and seeing and meeting the rest of the RAZA homies, and, because it was almost an instant click, and that, I think is a great thing to have.
This community to me is like a home away from home. And I think it's important for UCSD because Historically underrepresented kids a place to thrive.
So the RAZA LSU matters to me because it makes me feel like more connected to my culture compared to how I felt back home, whereas I only felt connected in my home and not my community as a whole. But coming here and being a part of this LLC, it's really like helped me get more in touch with my culture, you know, being a Latina.
At this school, like you don't really see, like I don't see that many Latinos. So the RAZA LLC, like I think that's like where I see like all the Latino like people on campus.
Too, you know, the bonds that I've made with the gang over there, and because such a bond allows me to, you know, express myself in such a way that I don't seem weird to others that wouldn't have the same background as me. Because I could, for example, go around blasting Vicente Fernandez, you know, at 7 a.m. and it's alright because they all listen to Vicente Fernandez.
RAZA matters to me because it gives me a place to be around other people who like lived similar experiences to me and are people who I can relate to. And it's important to UCSD because it helps give a place to minorities where they feel like they belong on campus. It gives them a place to know that there are other people that they can rely on who know their struggles and who know how it feels.
It's really important that we have these little pieces of home with us so that way we're better integrated into the school, and I feel like with that it helps us feel as though we do belong here, and we do belong here, but having that as like an extra cushion and like support system, it's really nice.